There's this strange concept that too many grown-up human beings have, that supposedly you can't think about the concept of speaking with a 6 foot tall talking otter and balance your checkbook simultaneously. I don't know why. I find it quite easy, actually, myself.
One of the original problems with people accepting our group was that the idea that using your imagination and imagining yourself as a character, that's the realm of children. You're being childish. And I prefer the term childlike. You're not forgetting your inner child. You're not forgetting, you were told in school, quit daydreaming, pay attention. It's not about fantasy, it's about facts. And some people just rejected that and said, well, okay, I'll learn what you teach me, but I'm still going to live part of my life in the fantasy realm.
High school was rough for me. You know, socially awkward, Asperger syndrome type of weird kid. Never the one, open mouth, insert foot. Um, got made fun of a lot, which was tremendously painful. Um, and oddly enough, I agree with Mark that you can be anywhere, but it's interesting that I kind of fit the profile, me personally, I kind of fit the profile that Dr. Conway, Uncle Kagi, mentioned about, of being the person who felt more comfortable in the world of cartoons than I felt in the world I was growing up in. I got along. I could hang with those folks that I'm watching, particularly the talking animal characters. I would rather have hung around with Yogi Bear than with the people I was going to school with. We both grew up being very, very big fans of otters. Interestingly enough, pretty much from the same source, which was the Disney short film Beaver Valley, which has a short segment of otters playing around in the middle of it, and kids are going, "Whoa, these guys rock!" And I started researching, and everything I could about otters. In spiritual animals, otters represent what they call the fluid spirit. It's like, you run into a rock, you don't bash through the rock, you go around the rock. It's a different way of approaching problems. Is either you break the problem or you adapt to the problem. But both of us independently came to the same conclusion when people were starting to develop personas and furry avatars for themselves and stuff like that. We both said, we love otters, but they're beyond us. We don't deserve
They're
them.
just too good.
They're just too good for us. So we went with alternate.
Alternate weasels.
Right. So my persona is the mink. Mink are, to some extent, fluid like that. They're also water animals, but they're more aggressive. So it's like, I'll try to go around the rock to a certain extent, but if it's getting in my way, I'm going to smack it. Forgive me. The mink is my spirit animal also. Its spirit kind of gives me guidance for how I go about my life. And my other, there's what you call your spirit animal, which is sort of a spirit representation of yourself. And there's what you call your spirit guides, who are basically there to kvetch at you. They give advice. So my spirit guides are the bear and the rabbit. There's many aspects of them, but my main persona is Vincent Mink. That's the name of my character. One of the things we do, not everyone does, But one of the things we do is we have backstories for our personas. They actually exist in a science fiction universe and were created by science for reasons, and they met each other for reasons and things like that, which is not required, but we just like doing that because we're science fiction geeks, so we like to write stories. But that's me.
In my case, I accidentally created a persona when we were forming our animation club. I had used my Skilter Theta here as my personal mascot. So when I would do a video room, I'd have her on the posters saying, you know, here's the show. So the group of people who were forming this club said, we like Theta a lot, but she's yours. She belongs to you. So why don't you make a Skilter for us, for the club? So I came up with a Skilter named Fanta from the name Fantasy, because it's called the Cartoon Fantasy Organization. And I made her a mate named Psy. So it's a couple of Skilter. And Fanta is the one who's the showman. She puts on the screenings. And Psy is the guy who does all the technical stuff. He has the tapes and the equipment and all that. So I started going to the screenings, and everybody knew who Fanta and Psy were. And suddenly people started calling me Psy. And I liked it. I said, okay, I guess I am. I'm Psy. And my girlfriend Louise, she's Fanta. Which she wasn't furry, so that was kind of weird for her. But my spirit guide is a black leopard. I used to have dreams, very vivid dreams about a black leopard, and they were very sensual too when I was, growing up. But at the same time, it was the presence. In the dark, you don't see it till the eyes open, and there's these glowing golden orbs, right? There's this presence, this rock, dependable, safe, protecting. But my persona is a pine marten, which isn't a very big animal and is incredibly cute looking, but it's still a weasel.
There's a difference between being into animals and being into furries, being into anthropomorphic animals. And the main difference there, everything falls back on is talking. Okay, he likes his cats. I like dogs a bit, and so on and so forth. And there's a wonderful thing interacting with pets and interacting with other animals. I've done animal rescue. I've worked with sea lions, all kinds of things like that. That's wonderful. But there's always this language barrier. Okay, there's this distance that's kind of kept from the fact that you can't get a full communication going. You can talk at them and they can give you cues back, but it's always, a little different. So our imagination says, what if I could get everything I get from interacting with this non-human and talk to them in their language or have them talk to me in mine? It's taking it to the next level. Okay, that's the special thing.
A lot of people look at fans in the group as saying people are putting on their mask, putting on their animal mask, because they don't want to be human. And I said, no, actually what they're doing is they're taking off their human mask and being who they really are. Because, to fit in to active society, you have all these different people you have to play at being. At home with your family, you have to play one role. In school, you have to play another. In the workplace, another. And even when you have time off and you're going to go out with your friends, you're playing another role. Wouldn't it be cool if you could be that one person that was really you and have other people welcome you because of that?